Hey friends, it's Laurie. Today I'm sharing a red, white, and blueberry wreath. I made mine in just about an hour. It's perfect for the upcoming patriotic holidays, but if you prefer to use it for everyday decor, just leave off the red berries. As always, I hope you have fun crafting with me, so let's get busy. Getting started, I'm using a 14-inch grapevine wreath, and I picked mine up at Michael's. For the base of the wreath, I'm using 32 pieces of lamb's ear. Mine came from Temu. I opened up each piece of the greenery and then I snipped the stems off about halfway down. Attaching them to the wreath is super easy. I'm first adding some hot glue onto the end of the stem, then placing them through the grapevines pretty much side by side. As I'm attaching them, I'm doing my best to hide as much of the grapevine wreath as possible. I'm using the lamb's ear for my wreath, but you can pretty much choose any type of greenery for this project. With that complete, I'm adding in some darker greenery that will complement the light green lamb's ear. I'm using 2 bunches of boxwood that I found at the Dollar Tree. There are 7 individual stems on each, and I'm cutting all away from the main stem. I'm adding hot glue to the end of 7 of the boxwood stems, and then I'm attaching them evenly around the center of my wreath. I'm now using the last 7 pieces of the boxwood. I once again added hot glue to the end of the stems and attached them on the outside of the wreath in between the 7 pieces of boxwood that I already attached. Adding a bow to your wreath is completely optional. I'm going to add a really simple one onto mine. I'm using my bow maker, and I've shown this in past projects. If you're looking to buy one, I found mine on Amazon. This bow is so easy to make, you can definitely make one without it. For the ribbon, I'm using a 2.5-inch plain blue, and this came from Hobby Lobby. I'll be holding my bow together using an 18-inch piece of floral wire, and this will also wrap the bow around the wreath. I'm measuring out a 12-inch tail, and then making 2 5-inch loops. I finished up with another 12-inch tail and cut both ends off at an angle. I attached the bow together, first wrapping the wire around the center and then twisting it tightly in the back. When I was done, I opened up the loops. I'm giving my bow a bit of a decorative center, so I'm using a piece of the same ribbon. I'm folding it in half and making a small knot. When I was done, I cut both ends off at an angle. I attached it in place by adding some hot glue to the center of my bow. I decided where to place it, and then I wrapped the 2 wires around the wreath. If this is your first time stopping by, please consider clicking on that little red subscribe button below and leaving me a thumbs up. To all my returning friends, you know I'm always so happy to see you, and I can't wait to chat with everyone down below in the comments. For the blue in my Patriotic Wreath, I'm using 6 stems of blueberries, and these came from Temu. I chose this style, but they do have different sizes and colors. Just like the others, I cut mine about halfway down the stem. Now that they're cut, before I permanently attach them, I want to make sure that they're evenly spaced around the center of the wreath. As I'm adding them, I'm first pulling the 2 blueberry branches apart. By doing this, if I'm not happy with their placement, it makes it easier to pull them out and move them. Now that I'm done and I have all my blueberries in place, I'm using my hot glue gun to permanently attach them. For the white in my red, white, and blueberry wreath, I'm using some small white berries that I already had on hand. If you prefer to use something different, you can always add on some white flowers. I cut mine into 7 individual sections with about 8 or 9 berry stems in each. I added some hot glue to the end of each stem and then tucked them in between the blueberries. I'm making my wreath a patriotic wreath, so I'll be adding on some red berries. But if you prefer to use this year-round, you can always omit those and add on more blueberries and extra white berries and maybe even some different types of flowers. The red berries that I'm using in my wreath came from Temu, but you can sometimes find them at the Dollar Tree. Just like the blueberries, there are 2 berry stems attached to the main stem. I cut them into 2 separate pieces. I'm not using the entire cluster, so I'm cutting about half of the berries off of the bottom. I'm using 6 and I'm attaching each little bunch in between the blueberries. If you're looking for a quick and an easy wreath to DIY and add to your patriotic decor, this is the perfect addition. You not only can hang it on the inside, but you can hang it on your front door. With the last of the berries added, my red, white, and blueberry wreath is complete. Here we are at the end of the video, and I really hope you had fun making this wreath DIY with me. If you're new here and you want to come back and hang out with me again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below. I have a bunch more patriotic DIYs, and I'll leave those in a playlist for you at the end of this video. Stay safe, have an amazing day, and enjoy the red, white, and blue. I'll see you all very soon. Bye, everybody!